What's good, superstars? Back with another video. We got Superstar Joe and we got Superstar Rob in the house. How's it going, Rob?
Pretty good. You?
I got some energy back. Took a nap. You know,
I was laughing because shout out to Dino Lang who played some of our videos on his live stream. I guess while he was talking to people or while he was cooking lunch. And I laughed every time the video starts. We're just like punching at each other. So
yeah,
shout out to
become
him.
our thing
Appreciate
somehow. It started off as like casual high five through the screen, but now it's a little bit of a boxing match, I think. So first thing I want to bring up was congratulations to superstar Jeff Smith for correctly guessing the birthday of superstar Mel and I's child. We had an impromptu live stream and we told everyone to come, whoever was around. I think we only had like up to 20-30 people in there at a time max, and we just threw a little giveaway, which was whoever guesses closest to the date. Superstar Mel gave back her weapon rack because she got a generous gift from Sarah Jean, one of the Spider-Man from her wall. So that was almost a couple weeks ago now. But anyway, the weapon rack has been delivered. So again, congratulations to Jeff Smith. I think actually he might have been one of the people who requested Dino Lang to to talk about or to watch our video. So thank you for doing that as well. Very much appreciated.
Superstar Jeff Smith, thanks a lot.
Yeah. So okay, let's get into the latest here on Twitter. This is I was just scrolling through and I'm already seeing the AR houses and stuff. And this is in the showroom, I think, but it's crazy. It looks so cool, just floating in the air. And especially if you think about people putting it in real life, like above houses and above recognizable statues or something like that in the real world. I think the up house is definitely slept on for sure. I just wanted to reload here to the beginning because you can see.
We actually had
an
entry. We had an entry. That was a great one.
Yeah.
That was a really great one. And we had another entry of somebody putting it on the street. It was let's see, it was Kale from Instagram, Superstar Kale, and he put it. I don't know if you can see here. He put it right on his street.
That looks so cool. So yeah, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, there is a Perology giveaway. He's on YouTube now, by the way.
Yeah.
So make sure you go subscribe to him on YouTube. I don't know what he's gonna be doing with it, but he just put it together recently, and he's building the subs. But we have a giveaway for Perology, and it's ending on the 17th. So in 2 days, you have right now. There's not too many entries. Still very good odds that you can win a lenticular Goofy. And these are the steps. Follow Perology on Twitter. Follow Superstar Money on Twitter. Subscribe to the channel. You know we always love when you subscribe to the channel. Helps us keep it going. And follow us on TikTok. This is the TikTok week. And send us a funny AR video, any kind of AR video, any kind of video is fine at this point. Send it to us, and you can send it to us through one of our many platforms because we realize that some people can't use TikTok as intuitively yet because it's kind of a newer platform. So if you really want to get it to us, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, those are our handles. Make sure to check it out. And if while you're at it, guys, make sure to go check out Fastos 6909. I know you got to do some work now because the YouTubers like Rob Stuff and I don't know, Veve Vibes, all these guys, the Gale, they're all plowing on top of our Fastos. But our Fastos, he is sitting strong, holding everybody above him. Okay, he's holding them all up there. So if you can get to him, if you can scroll down to the bottom of the Fastos 9.9 wall, you will find us there, and even do one of these in the meantime while you're waiting, while you're scrolling. But yeah, that's how you can follow us on Veve and find our Fastos. We're not taking them down. I know Rob Stuff's like, oh, maybe they can do another item. Not happening,
Nope.
Rob Stuff.
Nope.
We are sticking with Fastos, and he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, and we
6909.
We have like 17 entries right now on TikTok. I've picked up everybody on TikTok or Instagram, but I haven't looked at Twitter yet. So if we have Twitter entries, I got to get on that.
Yeah.
Get them into the contest as well.
People are asking, is it going to be random? Is it going to be selected? It's going to be both, kind of. So we're going to select a bunch of the ones that we really like. Even though whatever we get, we're most likely will put on TikTok. The ones that we really like, we're going to throw them onto a wheel of names, hit the wheel of names in a video one day, and that's going to be who wins. Then we'll have to connect with you however you connected with us. Because that's the only way that we can confirm that it's not a scam or something like that. Some people try to, once people win, then other people make fake accounts and try to pretend that they are them. So that's why it's very important that you contact us in one of those platforms that we showed. This way that we can ensure that it's you and that the right person is getting the collectible, whoever wins. So moving on, let's get back into the Twitter here. So I just wanted to show that. I thought that was pretty cool. There's a couple of little AR things going on. This one's cool too. Just shows all of the Pixar and the recent Ukraine drops. And then you got a little Supergirl over there flying in the background. Oh, I didn't even notice there's two Mike Wazowskis there. A little Mike Wazowski and a big Mike Wazowski.
They're that cheap. They're that cheap.
It looks cool. It's a really cool looking collectible. I really hope that eventually they let you like take off the braces or something like that. Similar to the Deadpool hopes and dreams everyone has. This is that post that you showed the other day, Rob. So Veve picked it up and retweeted it.
Really? Because Gary actually commented on our Superstar Gary commented on our video, and he just said thanks for the show. He let us know exactly where it is. I'd have to, maybe we should move on. I'd have to pull it up, but appreciated Gary for watching. And nice.
Looks like he's in Canada, but I don't know if this photo is in Canada because
he rotated it. He rotated it.
Yeah, he rotated it. Shout outs to Gary for rotating it.
Yeah, it was the wrong way. He rotated it.
It looks better this way, Gary. Trust me.
It looks better, yeah.
So we got one drop coming, and it's going to be on the 17th, so St. Paddy's Day, and we have, not in first edition, but Marvel Spider-Woman number 37, and its first appearance of Siren. I don't know Siren. I think that's how you say it. Do you know Siren, Rob?
No, I actually don't know. I don't know what it is. Let us know below. I know you guys out there know who she is, so let us know below.
Looks like a villain to me, like unless Spider-Woman's the villain, but I don't think so. I'm not a comic book guy. I'm gonna have to refer to Comics and Crypto or Sleep in Comics, Veve Rank's website to learn more. But speaking of Comics and Crypto, Rob, why don't you talk about that news going around?
Yeah, there's a lot of talk right now about the new grading system. Us personally, we use a combination of both. Sleep in Comics as well as the Comics and Crypto. I guess they're gonna maybe they got a new business model coming in where they'll even like do like a little fancy grade like photo with your collectible. But I don't know. I don't try not to get too caught up into it. Like at the end of the day, those two guys they've done a lot for the community. They are gonna help dictate the prices on a lot of these. And the reason why they're gonna control the prices in some sense is because they're comic book guys. They have the history. They have the knowledge. And they've helped guide a lot of the Veve community, including ourselves, to the right comic book. So I try to use a combination of both. I just personally like owning FAs of characters. So like that's an FA, not a bad thing to hold. But like I feel like I would know the character if it was really that big of a character in the MCU. Probably going to be a C comic because of that.
Could be a B, could be a C. Not too sure. The covers, I'm not that biggest fan of most of these covers. The common maybe is my favorite. I like the little arm hook that's going on with the big demon or whatever is going in the background, chasing them. But I think the others aren't really my favorite, which is rare because usually I like the rare or the ultra rare.
I'm not seeing your screen right now. I don't know if you.
Yeah, sorry, I pulled it down because I want to show you up close. Yeah, so like that's the common I think is my favorite on this run.
Oh, it's one of those black ones. I wonder if it's the same thing like. What was it? What's his name again?
Oh, true. Ghost Rider. Yeah.
Ghost Rider. That's right. Where
I know people will let us know in the comments for sure if this is like a Grail type or whatever.
Because it was a black comic, it was like so hard to keep pristine, so it did really well in the physical world. But he's a bigger character by far.
Yeah. So yeah, like you said, there's all types of different rankings. And now the one thing I want to bring up actually, I was watching Rob's stuff yesterday. I think it was on Rob's stuff stream. I watch too much YouTube, guys, but. Anyway, there's a commenter, and I should have wrote the name down. I'm sorry, but I want to give credit to it. So if you want, you can go check out Rob's stuff stream yesterday, and you'll find it. Somebody said they don't like this new grading system, and they think the grading system. Or I don't know if they said they don't like it, but they think that the grading system should be based on percent. So not in terms of collectibles in general or whatever. So what like they meant numbers? There, exactly, because that's really the only distinguishable. Way to decide that's the community sentiment right now, right? So if you had, for example, 100 mints and you had a top 10 mint, then you would be she mentioned you would be the 10 percentile kind of thing. So that would be the way to grade it, and then which still is kind of, I guess when it's 100 run it's easy to see, but when it's like 25,000 people don't know exactly what is 10%. So maybe along with the mint number, it gives you a percentage underneath it that says this is the 7th percentile or whatever, and then anything that's, or maybe they do it in stages and they say 0 to 0. This is just me thinking off the top of my head. Maybe they do 1 to 10 is the 10 is like the A, and they kind of grade it that way, and they say this is an A, this is a B if you're in this category, and then they give it their own kind of ranking, just something that the community can use to help that. But I don't know if they'll ever come out with that type of system, just because it's after the fact now.
It's so hard to grade when it's a very complex way to grade between these comics. You have mint numbers, which are incredibly important. Okay, you have the actual physical copies relevance in our society, and some of them are going for $1 million or more at the auction. Then you have future MCU potential. Then you have, even like maybe because it's a Veve exclusive, maybe that's going to be worth more when Veve blows up. I don't know.
Yeah.
So you have all these different things to grade. I don't think there's no such thing as just one simplified grading system. It's going to be subjective. It's going to be subjective of whoever's grading it.
It's realistically going to be whatever the market, the sentiment is in the community. And right now we are noticing a little bit of a hit to the community in terms of growth. I would think. I don't think they come out and said it explicitly yet, but I think that the prices in the market have kind of said it for them. That we're not really getting many people. Maybe they are getting new users, but I think maybe the active amount of users is not growing as quickly as it was.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward for another update. I would really love to have another update.
Somebody was saying on Twitter that David and Dan might have a talk coming up. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, I saw that as well. So if they have a talk coming up, that would maybe help clarify a lot of things.
We'll try and get on there and ask a question if we can. Like Dino, we'll be like the community insider. But anyway, let us get into the video title. As you guys are all here, you want to know, how am I going to grow my Veve portfolio like the pros? All these big YouTubers that you watch, all the whales, we are not that. But we do have an idea of how they got where they are, and these are kind of our thoughts on how to get there and what you got to do that. And it's not always the simplest things to do in order to grow your portfolio. I mean, because people get attached, especially when it's collectibles. People get attached to their items. So I guess let's go through the list of the things we put together, and we'll go from there.
We'll start from there. So we slapped it right on here. Yeah. So here's our list.
There, guys, subscribe, by the way, if you didn't know.
Make sure you subscribe. But the list is down here. So we'll start off with number 1, and this is participate and win in drops. Like, at the end of the day, history repeats itself. Some OGs that got in here back in March of like so long ago, like March of, what was it, 2020? 2021, right? Yeah. Like, one of the first things they did was they participated and won drops. And it's getting hard to win drops right now, but you really need to participate and find a way just not to forget. Life gets busy. We forget ourselves all the time, but there are certain drops that you just really can't forget, because if you get, let's say, for example, Pixar and Pals, if you get one of those, the listed price is 60. Odds were that you would probably automatically grow your gem base by winning that drop. And there were enough people that won it that they were able to take advantage of that.
All right, I'm going to take it off the screen, and then we'll go through them one by one, I guess. So yeah, when you talk about buying or participate in winning drops, I think that in the past, up until this point, has been pretty steadily profitable. You've been able to capitalize on any drop, and maybe with the exception of a few, if you were to get like a common Groot when it dropped or something like that. But right now, I think you got to be a little bit more selective in terms of the drops that you do participate in, because we are getting hit with a lot of drops recently, especially these comics that are lower tier, that are going below retail now. Like, there's some comics going under 7 gems, so it might not necessarily be the best route. But however, if you're in this for the long term, and sentiment gets back into Veve, that might be the best thing you can do, is participate in these drops, because then when people get in here, they're going to say, I need to get something, and some of the cheaper items might be the easiest access to get something. So basically, participate in drops, and if you can win some, it's always helpful, because you know that it probably won't go too crazy below the list price. If it does, it does, like maybe like the weapon rack is an example of where some of them went below. But You just got to start to get some collectibles and start to
Yeah,
get
and
some type of a base.
I don't think it's new though. Like I said, history repeats itself. Like there was a time
Mm.
before many of us joined, and no for us for sure, where it wouldn't be that completely crazy for drops to be under listed price. Now the month of January that didn't happen no matter what it was
No. Yeah.
during that pump time. But don't just do it. Like use your strategies, right? Line it up. Was it line gate?
Yeah, you
Use
gotta watch Veve Vault. Watch these guys who teach you the tricks. Vault streams it every week or every time there's a drop. Johnny Dunn's another one streams it. But like I learned from Veve Vault a lot of the tricks. So you line gate, like you said, space gate or whatever it is, and
yeah.
timing gate, and depending on the drop type, there's different types of strategies. So don't just blindly go into it. You're right.
Yeah, so but definitely like even if you're down on a collectible, like I still think history will repeat itself at some point. But I agree.
Right.
Right now, if you're selective and you want something, you kind of get a sense whether it's going to go under listed, and then you can
Yeah.
buy it in the aftermarket and save some gems. It's just
Yeah.
something to think about. All right,
Okay. So you got your second point here.
yeah. Second point: buy the FUD, sell
Yeah.
grails and bull runs, or not at all.
So this is a good point. I'll take it actually. What we're trying to say here is right now it's market sentiment is down. Everybody knows that it's been tough to watch your items all come down in price. People are selling or people are holding gems. Not sure if it's for MTL or whatnot, but this might be the time where you got to kind of load up or dollar cost average. I love that term where you dollar cost average. If you want to stack on a collectible, or if you're just trying to get into certain collectibles, maybe as the market is going up, might not be the time to be going after your favorite things on the app. Maybe you want to wait for a cycle like this, and these cycles will repeat themselves. It's just like Rob said. It's the history of the marketplace, and what happens. People, they become interested and they become disinterested. So if you are able to recognize these cycles, then you will be able to buy the FUD, like it says there. But however, the one thing I think that a lot of people don't do, and this might be the biggest thing that separates the whales from the average person, is that they sell their grails off in those bull runs to get the gems to buy them back at cheaper prices as the market switches course. And that is a good way to do it. Also, but it depends on your time frame as well, right? Because you don't want to time the market. But Veve has proven that it is a little bit more of a, it shows more signs that you can read. It's a little more inefficient of a marketplace right now. So there's opportunities to be had for sure.
Yeah, there's lots of market swings, but you don't necessarily have to sell it. It depends on your
Yeah.
investment approach and strategy. That's why we're saying if you're not going to sell it in a bull run, just don't sell it at all.
Yeah.
Just take if you see that collectible down, and none of this is investment advice, right? It's not financial advice. It's just our personal opinions of how to handle yourself in a situation where
Yeah.
you're actually down. Because right now, I'm sure there's lots of people who bought in January,
Yeah.
maybe even 100,000 Secret Rare Spider-Man, but
Yeah.
I don't think they're planning to sell it anytime soon, anyways, right? So you just hold it,
And
and you gotta wait it out. Look, we did a whole video on the crypto market, and we showed in the crypto market, we showed 80% drops,
yeah.
60% drops, like every year, like 70% drop, and that you just see the price over the long run, over that decade, grow to what it is now. I think it's at
Yeah.
like 35,000, 40,000, whatever it is.
Yeah. So if you got a long term hold, like if you're going to be in this for the long term, for sure, that's partly our strategy as well. Like we're holding. But however, I've thought about it, and in this downturn, I've purchased a little bit of Grails, and I'm thinking maybe my strategy is going to be, once I see that all time highs and I see the run going, I'm thinking of selling off and waiting for a little bit of a dip again. I might miss it. It might never dip down again. I might lose out, but I'll have gems, and it's never a bad thing to have gems at the same time.
You
Sorry,
can try
guys,
you're never gonna time
if
the.
you hear the baby in the background, but
Oh yeah,
he's getting a bath.
I could barely hear the baby. But you'll never time the top, you'll never time the bottom.
Yeah.
But you have to take some kind of approach and stick to it. And I think that holding grails, you still cannot go wrong with that.
Yeah.
All right, number 3. So
Okay.
you could buy, especially for new users, you could buy items with low mint. So this could be either overall the mints are low in the items, or you
Yep.
actually buy the low mint number within the collection. So like a number 100 or 300, whatever. Or go quantity, but buy quality collectibles. So why don't you take that off?
Yeah, so exactly. The low mint is obviously, I think we've discussed this already. It's tougher to sell if you're trying to flip. So if you're trying to get in and out of something, low mint is not for you for sure. Especially if you don't know, like if you don't know if you want to have this for 2-3 years, I wouldn't really go low mint. That's my opinion. Obviously not a financial advice, but I would, if I know I'm never selling something, like for example, my Superman's probably going to be the last thing I sell on the app. I have an R2D2, I have other things, but Superman to me is the cleanest collectible. So for example, to me, it does not matter what mint number I have there. But if I was able to get into a low mint Superman, that would be like the perfect item for me to hold long term, because in the long run, these mint numbers will definitely matter, especially as more and more people get on the app and there's less and less of a chance to get some of these items, and we're gonna see it eventually. But that's where you get into quality collectibles as well. If you have only a certain amount of money that you can put into the app, definitely do your research, look around, and don't just impulse buy, because right now, especially, it's hard to sell things, guys. So if you're looking long term, like Rob says, get some quality collectibles, because those are the ones that'll move first. If the market swings back, the good stuff's going to go up first. The other stuff will follow, but maybe not to the same extent.
Yeah, like an example, we were always faced with decisions. Like the market kind of moves relatively because you're always trying to decide, if I have this many gems, how
Mm-hmm.
do I spread that out? So, like an example would be, maybe if you had, I don't know, this a random example, like 1,500 gems.
Yeah.
Um, you could go all in 1,500 on just one like low mint collectible, or maybe you spread it out, maybe a season one Joe Mad, and then you get a Woody, and then you get, something else that's around, maybe a Wonder Woman, another, I don't know if my math's
Mm-hmm.
working out on that, but
Yeah.
it won't, you couldn't get a Wonder Woman, but it have to be some other collectible, Steve Rogers, how's that, right?
Okay.
Something that has that long-term potential, instead of just going for that one low mint. You got
Yeah.
to be a little bit selective though. So anyways,
Yeah.
that's it for, I think, for that one. Unless you have anything else to add, and we can move on to number
No,
4.
let's move on to number 4.
Okay, so consider the OUP program, and specifically rentals. So
Yeah.
if you're new to Veve, you may not know about all the different articles that are out right now, but what is coming out. Make sure you read their white papers. We did a beginner video on that, and we went through the white paper and we talked about all the different things that Veve wants to do with this app. One thing that we have a little bit more clarity on is the OUP program. You can find it right here. It's a Medium article. Stands for the
Mm-hmm.
OMI Utility Program. One thing that's really interesting to me is this idea of renting. Now, you don't have to go buy OMI to be able to participate in trying to, get involved in what's going to be pumped by this OMI Utility Program. We've purchased OMI because we want to be part of this program. But
Yeah.
rentals are planning to come in phase 4. And maybe you want to target collectibles that have really good rental potential. So in the future, that could be something that could be gamified. So there's speculation that maybe the Marvel Mighties might be, maybe they're really cheap right now. Maybe those are good things to hold for the long term, in hopes that if gamification happens and they're one of the candidates, all of a sudden now you have rental potential. Maybe it's animation. Certain
Mm-hmm.
certain collectibles are animated, and maybe somebody wants that to do a video to join a giveaway contest, like we're
Yeah.
holding, right?
Yeah.
So something like that. There might be reasons they may want
Exactly.
to rent now an animated collectible for a short period of time, or maybe it's just quality IP, even if
Well,
it's none
maybe
of the other two things, right?
maybe even I saw this on NFT Pirates. Maybe you need to get into a drop. You need to own certain things at that time. So that might be another reason for renting, if you want to just even participate in certain drops.
That's true too.
Yeah.
Then there's participation. So if you, it's very speculative, but we know that a lot of the OGs, as well as the people who have been in the app for a while, they respect the OMI utility program. They know how important it is as well to the success of EV and the OMI token in general. That's the reason why the creators of EV are going to go out of their way to make sure OMI and the OMI utility program is very significant in
Yeah.
the app going forward. So maybe it's worth buying collectibles right now that might have a shot at doing that, or maybe buying OMI directly.
Yep.
That's another option as well.
Okay.
Okay.
And number 5, do not sleep on comics. MCP, real world value. Basically, yeah, I guess comics are definitely like people always there's cycles with the comics. I mean, there's times when people are talking about them like crazy, and then there's times where people just completely forget about them. I guess because maybe there's been a lot of IP dropping in collectibles, and it loses sight of mind. And that could be another thing. Like you can have a bull run in collectibles and have a bear run in comics, or it's not they don't always flow together, kind of thing. So you have to be very aware of community and community sentiment towards things, and that's going to obviously help you in terms of growing your portfolio, growing it into a larger amount of gems. Basically, you just got to be on top of it, and there's opportunity now. Like there's the buy and hold strategy, which long term most likely will work. Not financial advice, but I think in terms of the title of the video and growing your portfolio like the pros, if you are going to be a little bit more short-minded, you have to make sure that you're paying attention to the sentiment in both of the categories, collectibles and comics, because that could be another way that you could take advantage. For example, if collectibles are tanking and comics are going up and there's FOMO in the comics, maybe don't buy the comic at that time. Maybe that's the time when you got to start to look at the collectibles, do some research, see what the items are that maybe have big IP, have, like on the list earlier, quality collectibles. And maybe that's the time to get into those when people aren't looking there. This goes back to number 2. All of them basically interrelated on this list that's on Rob's screen here. So I think comics also for MCP, and there's comparables in the real world. So if you're not into comics, when comics are in a bear run, maybe go look at real world comic values. See which ones. The Veve set list has a great website that tells you how many points you get per comic. Maybe that's how you get into some MCP points for the utility program from number 4. Like everything here is connected as we're talking. As I'm talking here, I'm bringing up points from each thing. This is how you got to be thinking if you want to grow your portfolio.
And then there's also a leg too. What we noticed last time was comics were a fantastic store of value. So collectibles started tanking first from the highs of January. A lot of the comics actually retained some value, but over time, the collectibles continued to drop. So did the comics, and now we're seeing prices on the comics we haven't seen in a very, very long time. So that was another way that we utilized it, because I remember when the collectibles dropped, we sold off because the comics did not drop by the same percentage. We did a video on this. Yeah. We sold off the comics to collect some gems, and then we moved into one of the collectibles. In my case, I bought a Steamboat Willie. But we moved over to one of the collectibles that dropped by a higher percentage. Since then, the market has continued to decline, but I'm still in the boat of right now of that Steamboat Willie. I bought it to hold. I didn't buy it to flip. Yeah. So
and dollar cost averaging would be a good, if you had a little bit more gems in there, you maybe could buy another one, and then once market sentiment flips, then you can sell off your second Steamboat and go back into comic. It's like that, guys. You got to pay attention to market sentiment. Watch the YouTube videos. Watch all these creators that are talking, because whatever's common between all these guys that are talking likely is what sentiment is in that time.
Yeah, and we know the NFT market in general right now isn't getting the traffic it should be on Google. Yeah. Neither is Veve, and we've proven it in our previous videos. So we know the traffic isn't there right now, but what's to say that traffic won't come back? It's a cycle. Look at the crypto market. We did a video on that as well, right? The cycles of the crypto market was crazy. 80% drops we saw.
Guys, I'm going to show you something, because this might be some breaking news, okay? This might be some breaking news, Rob.
Pull it up.
Check it out. Check it out. We are going up on the Veve.
We have some life.
So we have some life. I'm not saying that this is the turn, but we're noticing that there's a little bit more search volume happening on Veve, and I'm not sure if people are finding it because Recur just had the recent drop, and then people who find Recur are finding Veve. I'm not too sure what this is about, but we'll keep track of this. Maybe we'll show it every video just to help you guys understand market sentiment. But it looks like there's some life here.
Not a bad idea.
I'll do the NFT just to take a general look. Still not there. So this might just be a little dead cat bounce.
Maybe flattening though. Might be flattening out.
Yeah, exactly. But hopefully this is a good sign for us.
Yeah, we'll see.
So I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
So guys, thank you for watching as usual. Make sure that you guys, first of all, make sure you guys join this giveaway because you got really good odds right now. Goofy lenticular card, you can win it. Thursday is when we're announcing it, so get it in before then. We're gonna go through our favorite ones, throw them into a wheel of names, spin the wheel on Thursday. Make sure you guys enter this because honestly, it's like the easiest goofy lenticular best odds that there are right now. I mean, we don't have crazy amount of entries, and we're trying to grow the TikTok, guys, and we want to be using user submissions to do that. And there's been some fantastic ones. Like if you go to our TikTok right now, some of you guys are really creative. Off the top of my head, I can remember the one with the Black Panther and the guy's fighting the Black Panther in his backyard or whatever. That one was cool.
That was good.
There's a lot of them with the up house. One of them on the street in his neighborhood or whatever. So it's really cool what you guys are doing, and we're loving the creativity. So make sure to send them through. This is really a good chance. And Pairology, honestly, this guy is great. If you go back in all our history of all of the giveaways, absolute pleasure to deal with. He's doing very good things for the community. So go check out that giveaway for sure. These are our socials. Go check them out. Follow us there. And Rob, take it away.
Don't forget to subscribe. Join the Superstar family. We want to talk to you. Make sure you comment below. We want to see what you guys think about this video. We gave you a top 5 list. What other things would you add to this list? Or is there something on this list that you think doesn't belong? We don't care if you agree or disagree. We want to hear from you below. Let's have a conversation about it. Grow our knowledge. And don't forget to subscribe. Smash the like button as well. And we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye.
Bye-bye.